Dirk, we came into this place for magic. We came to laugh, to cry, to care, because we need that, all of us. That indescribable feeling we get when the lights begin to dim, and we go somewhere we've never been before, not just entertained, but somehow reborn together.
I always latch onto the like heartbreak feels good in a place like that.
I'm sure that's coming up.
Yeah.
He's
probably being typed up right now.
He's transcribing right now as we speak.
I like how in the article it talks about, for anyone who's listening, dazzling images on a huge silver screen, sound that I can feel. We're talking about the Nicole Kidman AMC Theaters ad that plays before every movie. And in the article that I sent you guys talking about the making of it, it talked about how they originally edited it at one point, the ad, to make it shorter after it had already been playing for a while. And then people online were freaking out, and someone started like a change.org petition. And then they expanded it back to the full-length version.
Yeah, because what is it, like almost 2 minutes? Something like that?
That's long.
I remember the shorter one, and
it's good in a place like this.
I remember seeing the shorter one, and I was like, what's going on? Why is this different?
What an ad. I gotta read it now. This is the full thing at this point. Maybe we should just start all our episodes.
Murph, you can read this. We'll get the music going.
Yeah. No, we came to this place for magic. We came to laugh, to cry, to
Oh, he spelled laugh.
It's hard not to laugh. I can't do it. Doug or Corey, you take over.
Can anyone do an Australian accent?
Oh shit.
So I've been thinking about this. I wonder who she's gonna pass the torch to in the next whatever.
That's the commercial. Like I think it's gonna be that from now till the end of time.
I mean, they're still talking 100 years from 1920 to 2020 in 2022. So yeah, I think it's gonna be running for a while. But they did say they were talking to Nicole Kidman about some new ones to start airing after this one expires. I mean, from what I know, this one will be playing until the end of the year.
So she is now the AMC ambassador.
I forgot that somehow heartbreak feels good in a place like this isn't the last line. Our heroes feel like the best parts of us, and stories feel perfect and powerful. Because here...
You can't even do it.
It's so bad. I don't know who came up with this.
Here they are.
Yep.
It would have to be a giant plank. Plank of
Oh man! When I was reading that article today, I was fucking crying. I was laughing so much.
It was pretty hilarious.
I was like, oh man,
I enjoyed that.
There are people like us, like everywhere, that are just find this commercial so funny.
I really thought it was just our group.
No, people make T-shirts. Pletchy is not the only one.
Yeah, I've started to hear like bigger podcasts talk about it recently.
Yeah, Double Toasted was talking about it pretty recently.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
AMC theaters, we make movies better. Sure you do, AMC. Sure you do. Because everything about that commercial is funny. Like from start to finish, it's fucking hilarious.
It only gets funny though after you've seen it like a bunch of times. At first, I was just like, "What the fuck?"
The more you watch it, like the more you think about it, it just becomes like beyond ridiculous and makes no sense.
But yeah, I do like look forward to it now.
The copywriter was like, "This is my masterpiece." He's like, "I will never come up with a greater line than this about the somehow heartbreak feels good in a place like this." pop.
This whole thing, like, you could tell they were so full of, like, they thought they were fucking Shakespeare writing the shit.
Without a doubt.
I'm like, oh, this is
It's so corny.
I love how
gold.
I love how the CEO of AMC's like, oh, Nicole Kidman, first choice. Really? Nicole Kidman was your first choice of all like the fucking actors in the world?
Do not believe that.
I don't believe that. I think Tom Cruise passed and all these other people passed before he settled for Nicole Kidman.
Even Tom Cruise before Top Gun, I probably would have tried to get somebody bigger than Tom Cruise.
Yeah, the only reason I say Tom Cruise is because he was always such an advocate for movies, for like movie theaters. It'd be like trying to get Christopher Nolan to do it, like just somebody who like genuinely is like so public about their love for cinema and movie theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were saying before, like Top Gun Maverick, like right before that movie, you get to see Nicole Kidman like talk about like how great the movies are, and I forget, you saw it at an AMC, right, Doug?
Which movie? I mean, I see
Top
all my
Gun.
movies in AMC. Yeah.
Did you get the Nicole Kidman part before or after Tom Cruise talks about like the movies and thanking you to come to the movie?
I don't know. I
Or
think it was before. I mean, I've yet to go to the movie theater and not see Nicole Kidman pop up.
Yeah, like I'm wondering if Nicole Kidman got the last laugh, or if, or if
I think it
Tom
was.
Cruise.
I think it was Nicole Kidman that came
Okay.
before Tom Cruise,
Got it.
because the Tom Cruise thing I remember like coming on. I thought like right before the movie started. So
See, we don't get
Kidman, it's Kidman, then the lights lower, then usually the movie starts.
Yeah,
is usually
exactly.
the like.
Yeah, you get your 3 AMC commercials, then the lights lower, and the movie begins.
Yeah, but Kidman's usually the one I think that lowers the lights.
She's the last one, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you think the movie's starting, but no, now it's time for the longest AMC commercial.
Nicole Kidman just,
They got to do
going
that.
out for her night on the town, like about to walk on the red carpet, but instead rented out a movie theater.
Oh,
It's showing Jurassic
her own,
World.
her own theater. Yeah, she's seeing Jurassic World. She's seeing Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I love that. Like they don't even try to pretend like she's watching the movie with like the public.
She has her own theater in her.
There's nobody there but her.
Well, they said it was a COVID like protocol. That was like the reason why she was in her own theater.
Her crazy jumpsuit that she was wearing that no one would wear to a
No.
movie theater.
No one at all would be wearing that.
Nicole Kidman like doesn't go to movie theaters.
No. Nope.
That's what helps with like the ridiculousness of it all. She's telling you about how great it is to go to a movie theater, but like she hasn't been to a movie theater in 30 years.
Yeah, she's not able to go into a movie theater, or like she'll have to go in after the lights have dimmed, so she doesn't get swarmed by her massive amounts of fans.
She's gotta wear her Jedi hood that she wears in the beginning of that
Yeah.
of that commercial.
She does.
When she looks at the marquee.
Why did you cut AMC from being talked about on this episode?
Well, I didn't know where to put it, so
Now it's just like the pre-show banter.
yeah, basically, which works. I mean, people who turn on are immediately gonna hear us fucking cackling like schoolgirls and
Yeah.
crying. In my case,
We could start the episode with this.
It's the cold open.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't
exactly.
done one of those in a while. All right, I guess we can get into it then. Now that we've had our Nicole Kidman intro. Welcome to Live, Breathe, Film. Episode 70. You're here with Corey, Doug, and Murph. Thank you for joining us. Today's going to be a pretty scattershot episode. We're just going to discuss The Boys, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Barry, Lightyear, Jurassic World Dominion, Ms. Marvel, and then we'll talk about the box office and what's been going on over the past couple weeks as far as Top Gun moving up the ranks for this year and Lightyear's opening weekend performance along with Jurassic World. But before we get to that, let's start with the trailer to Stranger Things 4 Volume 2. So we all got a nice, 90-second spot today. Our first long look at what we're getting for Volume 2, beginning of July. So we're fucking close. It's only like 10 days away.
Yeah.
Which
Next
is
Friday, right?
which is real nice. Hype is high. People are excited. It definitely is helping the season. The fact that the Kate Bush song is like dominating, like the charts and shit, and it like it's the show-stopping song in the trailer for the new one, the new volume. But yeah,
I don't remember.
Really neat remix too.
Yeah. I don't remember people talking about Stranger Things as much as they've been talking about it recently in a while.
it's because they talk about it for a weekend, and then it's it's like no longer part of. And your dog agrees.
Yeah, she's very passionate about Stranger Things.
Yeah, I mean, it stays in the zeitgeist for like a weekend typically. I mean, it's typically only 8 hours, and people can binge it in a weekend. But the fact that like this season is so much longer, and they split it in two, it made it longer to watch even Volume 1, and then everyone has their speculations and things like that with what's going to happen for the rest of the season. And we still got we got Doug on mute dealing with the dog. But yeah, we got 4 hours, which is nice because that's like something that you can reasonably watch in one sitting. And it's just going to feel like a long movie.
Yeah, I really liked, I mean, regardless of how I thought of, what I thought about part one, I did like splitting it up and making like we got more time with the characters, but I also like how they split it up, a month apart. I hope they continue to do that for season 5.
Yeah,
because no, continue.
I was gonna say the Netflix people have talked about, like, they've been asked, well, are you gonna like split it up more now, like for the final season? And they're like, no, like that wouldn't be fair. We've conditioned people like to the binging experience. It wouldn't be fair for the final season to then just go like in a completely different direction. Which I think they're doing a disservice to themselves, like for multiple reasons.
I agree.
I think they're doing a disservice to like the consumer too. I think it's like there's something to having to like wait a little bit for the episodes to kind of like think about it a little bit for people to catch up. I mean, that's what always sucked about like the Stranger Things dropping all at once. I mean, season 1 wasn't a big deal because I think everyone kind of came into it at a different time. But a lot of like season 2, season 3, people were watching it like the weekend it came out. We're done with it.
I know I was one.
And like, yeah. And if you weren't on that first weekend and talking to people about it, like you were kind of like off on an island. Whereas like this, like I felt like everyone had a chance to watch it now and be excited for the last 2 episodes to come out.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, it's like I said earlier, I think I haven't seen this built up excitement for Stranger Things since going into like season 2, and everyone was getting into season 1 when it first came out.
I mean, if I could make the decision, I would split it even more. I would have like a couple episodes throughout the summer, like do like the same type of thing. The beginning of the month, have like 4 episodes and have them be longer, and then do like June, July, August. I think that would be crazy. That would be a good way to roll out the last season, and then you can keep the hype train going the entire summer.
Yeah, do like a Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July, like type split, like split it into 3. But I think they probably cut it in a good spot for going into Volume 2, because I would have to imagine everyone's going to be together fairly quickly. Like the whole gang will be together in episode 8.
Yeah, I was trying to look at that. I'm not sure that Hopper and like the rest of the crew get back
like quickly.
I just haven't been able to. When I'm looking, like there's nothing that has shown me them really outside of Russia. Did you guys see any footage of them?
I didn't
back in Hawkins, because it looked like.
Yeah, I didn't see any, but I also wasn't like going frame by frame or anything like that.
Yeah, but half the crew is still in the Upside Down too. So.
Well, we see Steve jump back.
Yeah.
Because I guess he's going after Nancy, right? Nancy doesn't make it back through.
I don't. Yeah, I guess she doesn't. Yeah.
I thought, I thought she gets like, thought like Venka gets her or something.
I don't even remember. I thought they were all like fine when the season ended.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I feel like she gets stuck there. Like she doesn't make her way back. I don't remember if Jonathan was there, but again, like the two of them are
Jonathan is all the way with.
Oh yeah, he's with everyone.
Yeah,
else.
I just remember
they
weren't together.
Through, like completely.
They had that. Sorry, they had that cool like scene where they come through the hole, through the like rope towel thing.
Yeah.
I remember Nancy has like some issues where she doesn't seem to come through, or Venkna pops in her head before she jumps through, but I don't remember if that gets resolved. I thought it didn't get resolved, but who knows?
I'm looking it up now. It's sad that it was only a few weeks ago and none of us can remember.
I know. And I binged it.
And that's what happens when you binge. You forget things so much quicker.
Yeah. I literally watched the whole thing in one weekend, which is shocking.
I could tell you what happened in Dear Billy, the end scene, 20 minutes of the ending, since I've seen that now multiple times.
Okay, Vecna possesses Nancy. That's when she discovers that he's Victor Crill's son. And then, I guess that's how her story ended.
Yeah, so I saw in the trailer we see Steve jump back. It looked like he jumps back through, and so I'm guessing he's going after Nancy.
That would make sense.
With Eddie and probably like the rest of that crew are probably all going to jump back through. I'm excited to see what song Eddie's going to play on the guitar. I'm guessing it's not going to be
running up that hill.
Running up that hill. I'm guessing it's going to be like Metallica or something.
I think that's a good, something like that. Metallica, Megadeth, Iron Maiden, something like that. My guess.
Yeah.
Like, who's he going to be playing it for, though? Because himself, I guess?
Maybe the music has like some type of an effect. Maybe that they realize that.
I mean, that music definitely has an effect. But it has an effect on the person to help them escape.
Yeah.
Venkna. So the question is, who's he playing that to? I guess the whole goal is to pull somebody out of like whatever depression they're in. It seems like, since that's what Vecna feels on, and making people feel shitty about themselves.
Yeah. Well, like what other song? Like I don't think it's going to be that. It's going to be another song that he's going to play.
It's definitely going to be. He's not going to be able to play that. Like, running up the hill song on the electric guitar.
No, not at all.
That would be ridiculous. Yeah, it's going to be. So Sweet Child of Mine, right? No, was it Sweet Child of Mine? What was the song they played? What was the song they played in the trailer?
This one, Running Up That Hill.
No, the first trailer.
I don't remember.
It was one of those like type of songs. I don't know. It'd be weird if they gave it away in that trailer, but
there's a bunch of like. I mean, it's probably going to be a metal song, from the 80s.
Yeah, I think so too. But that'll be fun. I think I was talking about. So there's a couple things that I got out of the trailer that I think were interesting. One.
It was Journey in the first trailer.
Oh,
was it?
Okay.
So it could be Journey, I guess. Well, that would be kind of a hard song to sing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if he's even singing. We'll see.
Yeah. So things I got out of the trailer, I think it kind of felt like they're going to lose.
Yeah, that's I getting that feeling too.
Unless they were just like, I don't know. There was a lot of like foreshadowing about like this isn't the like there was I think a line by was it Maya?
Yeah.
What's her character's name?
Robin.
Robin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Robin was like, I said some line about like, I don't know, this doesn't feel like the time like that we're gonna win this time or something along those lines. or that we're gonna make it. And then Vecna has a line about how they've already lost, and he just wants like 11 to witness. Yeah, to watch. It just feels like they could be going that route where he wins.
But what does winning mean on Stranger Things?
You know what I immediately thought of after watching the trailer? Infinity War. Like it ends like that, like on like a crazy cliffhanger, but like really depressing and down.
Yeah, that's what Doug
Type of
kind of
thing.
mentioned in our chain today. Was that he was expecting like an Infinity War type of ending?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird because I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem like you can come back after you die from him. So it's not like Infinity War where everyone gets dusted and then you can just
Right.
go time travel heist and get everyone back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So I don't.
does all of Hawkins like get just submerged into the Upside Down? I don't know.
You want to.
I thought maybe L could end up being the villain of the final season. I don't know really how, but that would be an interesting twist.
Yeah, that'd be a stupid twist. They already did that with Game of Thrones and fucking pissed off the internet.
You want to know what I thought like popped in my head out of nowhere when I was just kind of thinking about how the show would end? Was that like 11 figures out that like in order for the upside down portal to close that she needs to like she can't be alive because she's like the key that creates the pathway between the two worlds, and so that so it's basically the end of Terminator 2. She's like I have to sacrifice myself. So yeah, I don't that popped into my head. It'd be like it's not 80s, it's early 90s.
Yeah.
But they could just be like it could be like a T2 ending where she's like, I've got to go if we're gonna like win this overall, and just sacrifice herself.
Perhaps. So what we're oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, do you think Vecna is gonna continue into being in like a character in season 5? Like he's gonna come out of this as still alive?
I mean, based on your predictions, it sounds like it.
He's a really cool villain, so I'd be kind of pissed if he doesn't continue to exist into the last season. I thought they did a good job setting him up.
Yeah, I mean, if he is in season 5, I mean, I guess there needs to be some sort of a bigger bad than this guy because like he didn't create the Upside Down, did he?
No. Well,
So, like,
I mean, the Mind Flayer is really the big bad, and we got the Mind Flayer already. So I don't really know, which I completely forgot when I rewatched the season. Like, season 3 was really the Mind Flayer. So, unless it comes back, but we kind of got that arc already. So I don't know. I don't know who like what monster would end up being like the ultimate villain of Stranger Things.
I mean, maybe it's it's Vecna and the government are the two bad guys in the last season. I mean, they're clearly setting up that one group that's torturing people as like bad guys.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna have to deal with them eventually. No, not them. Those government agents who kidnapped the other ones and was torturing them.
Oh yeah.
Like fucking Zero Dark 30 shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess Vecna he'll probably be in the next season.
It's a cool character design, so I wouldn't be surprised if they want to keep him around.
Yeah, he's definitely a neat character.
I was watching the special effects for that too, and he's like almost all practical.
Yeah, I mean, did you see that one video? It was like a time lapse video of like them putting on the makeup. It's fucking nuts.
He's in like 6 hours.
A long time.
Yeah, it's fucking looks like it takes forever. I mean, the video just of like the time lapse is pretty long, so I can't imagine how long it took.
Yeah, I thought I remember reading it was like 5 or 6 hours. something like that. Just crazy.
Yeah, there's supposedly it's like not a ton of CGI that they did to enhance him. You know, like they took away the nose and like added some
Like the
stuff
tentacles.
and the tentacles and stuff like that. Yeah, but they were like it's 90-something% practical.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Looks good.
Mm-hmm.
The actor is the one in the suit, which is kind of cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not some stunt guy.
Any other predictions?
I mean, I think we got to get into probably something that seems pretty foreshadowed to me at least when I'm watching the show, which is the inevitable death of one of the fan favorite characters. I think Murph, probably one of your favorite characters.
Definitely one of mine. Yeah.
That's bad guy turned good guy, Steve. It just seems like to me like. And they foreshadowed a little bit in the trailer with Robin being like, I don't know that we're going to make it this time. Steve rekindling his romance with Nancy doesn't really seem like it makes a whole lot of sense unless it's Steve sacrificing himself to save Nancy so Nancy can be sad about it. Like, I don't really see other plot-wise those two getting together, so I'm not really sure why you would rekindle that romance other than to, just kill Steve off and make the Steve death even more impactful.
Tragic
It would
ending.
have been, yeah. So, sorry. I mean, Murph, I just trying to prep you for it.
It's stupid. I don't like it.
The internet will freak out for sure. But yeah, no, Doug, I agree with you. I think I think Steve is probably at the top of the list. But what's really cool is that even though Steve is at probably the top of everyone's list at this point to probably die, maybe it won't be him. Maybe we'll get blindsided by something else. That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
It's got to be
Something
someone you
unexpected.
care about, though.
It
And
does,
I think
yeah.
Hopper, we've talked about, you can't really kill again because you
No,
kind of
they
like faked
fucked
that
that
out
up.
already.
Completely fucked that up.
Max with the durability, I don't think you can get rid of her at this point because it kind of like
she's
would
safe.
would undermine that episode if she just like died.
Yeah.
Mike, I don't know that anyone would care about if Mike died.
Which is bad because he's like the protagonist of the show.
Mike, well, I mean, I don't see Dustin going. I mean, you got to get rid of a big character. It just seems like Steve's probably who else do you pick that people would care about outside of Steve?
Yeah, Nancy, Jonathan, but no one cares about them.
No, this is me if they die.
Yeah,
it's like okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
what about
the deaths of people tend to hit harder if the actors that are playing them, or if the actor, all right, let's say Steve dies, the actors that are supposed to be emotional aren't the best actors, so it's not going to hit as strongly as a good actor reacting to somebody dying. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously,
It's going to be Nancy
still gonna
is
care
the
no
one
matter
that's
what.
going to be
exactly. Nancy,
Yeah.
Nancy's going to be the one.
Nancy and Dustin. Dustin's probably going to do a good job.
They'll focus on
Yeah,
Dustin,
Dustin
and they'll
Dustin
focus
will
on
be great.
Dustin and Robin. They'll be the ones that'll
Kill it.
get the emotion out of the scene.
Yeah, it's probably more that you got to give Steve a reason to sacrifice himself, and he's going to sacrifice himself to try to save Nancy. I could also see them killing off Eddie Munson.
Oh, that would fall in line with what they've done, but I would be pissed.
That's less of a big deal because he's a brand new character.
Yeah.
They always kill off the new characters, new supporting
It
characters.
seemed like Eddie's going to go down a blaze of glory with that guitar playing.
So what
That
about
would make sense.
Yeah, one of the other characters that I thought about was Joyce. I don't know. I mean, she's in Russia, but if she somehow gets involved in the Vecna stuff, which I'm sure she's going to, they all are in the end. Joyce kicks a bucket.
Parents don't even serve a purpose on the show anymore.
Maybe Mr. Wheeler.
No,
I'd I'd be
Can't
very
kill all
upset.
my favorites.
I'd be very upset if Mr. Wheeler died. But if they killed Mr. Wheeler, he would have to have some sarcastic ass comment before he died.
Oh, without a
And then
doubt.
it would be-
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be the Gus Fring like fixing his tie when he like is cutting out.
Then it would be worth it.
Yeah, it'd be like the one dude in Independence Day, but not my lawyer one. That guy, it's Harvey Firestein.
Yeah. But
Um,
there's just not. Yeah, I mean, you could probably pick out maybe 3 or 4 characters that it's most likely going to be. The rest of them are pretty safe, I think, at this point. Or we just don't care enough for them to even do it.
I mean, if I think you're trying to pick the most obvious, I think it's Steve. I think he's the one that makes the most sense to kill.
Steve is the most obvious, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, I think it will happen, but I think it's so obvious that I don't think it's going to happen. I guess.
Duffers aren't really the like. I don't know. They don't seem like the type that are just going to try to
bait and switch.
Yeah, that they're going to do something different than what
they
your
are very.
expectation.
Yeah, they are.
They're not going to subvert expectations or anything like that. Like
they're going to do what they did in the '80s.
Yeah, they're very formulaic, I guess. In that,
I mean, I get what you like with Steve. They kind like the whole season. He's kind of been like adrift, like in like, I'm like the stuck as the babysitter, like all that kind of stuff, and he's just talking about how like his love life's not going nowhere and things like that. So,
and the Nancy stuff.
Yeah, sure, and the Nancy stuff. But I thought he always pined for Nancy. Like, didn't matter what season it was.
But now, like, they're pining for each other.
Yeah. So, I don't know. You guys like want it to happen, so we'll see what happens.
I don't want it to happen at all. I love Steve. I really don't want it to happen. I would prefer that Steve not die. But
yeah,
if you're asked, like, it just feels really obvious that they're setting him up to die. He's the only thing that he's short of to dying is just talking about, you know, how great his life's going to be and how how he's looking forward to the future and he's so happy. Yeah, that's like the only thing. That's the kiss of death.
Exactly.
So
right now he has nothing to live for. So he should be safe.
I saw. I guess it was late last week. I saw Noah Schnapp on Fallon.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys know, but apparently he's like he's like the Tom Holland of Stranger Things. Like
I heard that, yeah.
So he didn't spoil anything on, you know, the interview, but when he was talking about like what to expect for season 2, he just comes out and says like, oh, well, you got to, you know, expect deaths that are going to happen in, you know, part 2. And Fallon was like, what? Like, you can't say that. And he's like, so deaths meaning more than one person? And he's like, oh, I'm not talking about this anymore. He's like, move on to the next question. So then I started thinking, I'm like, is it going to be more than one person?
I mean, they've got to like cut down that cast. So
yeah, it's a big cast at this point.
I wouldn't be surprised if they need to kill multiple people off just to like
weed them out,
get it down to like a manageable size for season 5. So yeah, that wouldn't be super surprising if they had to kill multiple people off, and that would play more into like that Infinity War type ending where you're just like, oh shit.
If they kill off Murray, I'm gonna riot.
I think Murray can die.
You'll be one of the only ones rioting.
Murray's like amazing. He's like one of the best characters in the show. I fucking love him. I just want a show with Murray.
I mean, well, yeah.
You should watch Fleabag. He was good on that one.
I did hear that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was like the
horrible
the brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law, yeah. Real piece of shit.
About that. But yeah, I think we're all excited for Volume 2 to come out. Trailer did a good job of getting everybody excited. I think playing into the fact that Running Up That Hill is super popular right now and using that as part of their music for the trailer was smart.
Number 1 song in the UK.
It's funny, they probably
Number 4 on the Billboard charts here.
Yeah. That was definitely a decision that was made after the season came out. They were like, shit, We got to
I
jump.
mean, they had to know like that, like was going to have some sort of not like the impact it did, but
some
like
sort
that
of
it would have like it was used at such a critical point in the season,
Mm-hmm.
and then like it was part of the plot. Like it wasn't just like a song cue that just happened to be in an action scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like it had meaning to it and substance. That's why it popped off like other songs in the show. Didn't You're not hearing fucking people going crazy about like the stoner music that Argyle's listening to or anything. Like it just happens to be in the scene.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sadie Sink is so good in that scene too.
Oh, she's great. She's becoming like scream queen of like the 2020s. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But all right, let's talk about a show that just ended. Barry. So you and I watched this one, Doug. What did you think about the season 3 finale and the season as a whole?
So I enjoyed the season as a whole. I thought there were a lot of callbacks to like season 1, maybe some season 2 stuff. I found myself like they were referencing things that happened in earlier seasons, and because of the gap, I was like having a hard time remembering who people were and like what happened.
Who's Ryan Madison? Oh wait, he's the guy that he was first contracted to kill in like the first episode of the show.
Yeah, so like that type of stuff. I was just like, I have a vague recollection of this, but it probably would be helpful if I saw these closer together than they actually came out. So that I kind of struggled with because that became like a pretty big part of the season, and it was something I barely remembered.
And most of the stuff they were calling back was season 1 deaths. Also, it was like Chris, his military buddy. That was season 1. Like most of the family members who found out, obviously, Jean's girlfriend, the police officer. From season 1,
which I remember that because that was such a big big
part. But most of them were season 1.
But yeah, like the contract
he didn't kill in season 2 until wasn't it the very end of the season when he went to the monastery? Wasn't that like, or whatever the fuck place was?
I don't remember.
I think that was the only time he killed anyone in season 2.
Okay.
So that's why everything was like a callback to stuff from like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, so that part of it I think was tough for me, and I guess it's not really their fault that there was such a big delay between seasons.
Yeah.
But, there was just like some times where I was just like, they were referencing stuff, and I was like, do I remember that happening, or what's that name they're talking about? I'm just trying to recall what happened. So that was probably something I struggled with a little bit in season 3, but I thought season 3 overall was pretty strong. I think you and I had talked about probably one of the better TV action scenes or just action scenes on film. Was that the whole bike chase scene, just because they did such a great job of... I love when things don't feel super polished.
Yeah.
Like things, like there's a machine gun handoff that sticks out in my mind when the person's on a motocross and someone hands the machine gun off to the person on the motocross bike, and he just like fumbles with it and crashes the bike, and like just the stuff that Breaking Bad always did a great job of that, where like just like little things go wrong and it makes it have a little bit more realism.
Yeah, there's a lot more tension to it when not everything is so stylized.
Hater on like the motocross bike with like, I mean, they obviously had a helmet on him because they wanted it to be really easy to put a stunt driver on there.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it was a fun scene. The fact that he's got like his helmet on, he's got like his bag of pastries or whatever the hell it was that he had picked up, and he's like humming his song while he's like driving along.
The beignets.
The beignets while he's driving along with his, it's just like such a goofy but fun look. I thought the highway stuff was really well done. With getting the motocrosses on the highway felt really real. The cutting in between lanes where they were running, it was like the car on either side of the lane and they were just running down cutting the middle or whatever that's called.
I loved when they were showing it from like like shooting it from the front, so you were like looking at like him driving it, and just like whooshing past all the cars. It like seemed so like oh shit, like one little bump and like he'd go fucking flying.
Yeah.
It was just something different, and I think I mentioned this to you, or maybe I didn't. Some of it just reminded me of like a live action like Grand Theft Auto, like with him like the way they shot it from like above, like in that like third person style. When he's like getting on the freeway, I'm like, God damn, am I like playing Grand Theft Auto 5 right now? Am I on a dirt bike or like on playing San Andreas, like going onto a freeway? It was just super cool, like something that I hadn't been seen, that I personally haven't seen done in a movie or a television show, which I just didn't expect from Barry.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was very well done. So that was definitely the highlight for me. I think of the season was that action. It was that episode just because of how great the action was.
Well, where's the show going from here? Now that Barry's
that's
caught.
They do a great job of ending the show, and you're just like, how do they keep going from here?
Yeah.
That's usually how Barry ends, where you're just like, how are they going to get themselves out of this from like a writing perspective?
Which is similar to Breaking Bad, also.
But yeah, it was a solid ending. Made sense. I thought the choices that the characters made, like Kusuno, like it made sense why he did what he did.
Oh, he wanted to do it all season.
Yeah. So it made sense that that was something they did. But yeah, I have no idea how he's gonna get out of this one at all. Like, no idea.
Thought the actress who played Sally did a really good job in the last like few episodes. Like she got to
Just
do
having like a breakdown.
Yeah, she got to do a lot more than like what she'd been doing previously. Like she did that breakdown very convincingly, both in the elevator scene and in the scene where she's getting attacked and she fights back.
I'm sad we didn't get to see Barry do to fuck with the person from The Good Place.
With Janet from The Good Place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good place.
So, I think I read somebody say online like she probably wouldn't have even noticed anything going on.
That was just such a scene or line that conversation really stuck with me. Like I told you.
Yeah.
We just talked about like breaking into, I forget who it was. It was like the network executive or whoever she was, and like not killing her or anything, but just like changing minor things just to like fuck with her and make her think she's losing her mind, and for whatever reason. Well, that was hilarious, and then it comes back a couple of times throughout the season.
Yeah, I loved in the next episode where he's leaving the voicemail and just talking like really loud while in a store, and like sounds completely crazy, and then you hear it from like Sally's perspective. Just really funny stuff. I just thought the season as a whole was like the funniest that it's been.
You know what I didn't really
as well
care for?
Hank?
And it was just him and Cristobal.
Because we haven't talked about him. I knew that had to be it.
Okay. Yeah, I just like that their relationship just like was fine, but it wasn't Hank at his funniest, I don't think.
No, my favorite Hank moment though was when he got shot with the dart. And
oh yeah.
You're just watching the guy set up like the dart, and Hank's just standing there. He gets shot in the neck. He's like, "Okay, that's what I thought you were doing, but I didn't want to be rude." And I was like, "Yeah, that's." I thought that's exactly what was going to happen too, and just watching it happen was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, Hank's had a few scenes. I just think they thought his relationship with Cristobal was going to be funnier than it was.
They went in a dark direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't go in the funny direction, with the exception of the house blowing up, and then like Cristobal walking out like after Barry like blows it up. I thought that was pretty funny. And then also when Barry broke into their house and like he's just having a conversation with them, and Hank's like, "Yeah, you can't really just come into my house whenever you want."
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't think Hank was as funny as he normally is.
No, I would
With what
agree.
they had him do.
I would agree with that.
But I'm sure they'll bring it back around and he'll be just as funny in season 5 and season 4. Yeah, season 4.
And then Fuchs is what is he now? The Raven.
The Raven's what they call him.
The Raven. So the Raven's now in jail. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. But yeah, ultimately, I think Barry will get off because I mean they don't have any evidence that he killed anyone, right?
They would need
There's a bunch of hearsay. I mean, they got him for attempted murder.
They would need the FBI guy who seemed like
who wouldn't turn on him.
Seem like because Barry saved his life in the military. So,
exactly.
But he knows where the bodies are buried, so he would be able to fuck Barry. But yeah, I'm sure he won't. He had the opportunity to kill him, didn't. So
yeah, although he told him not to. It ends now, and then right after that, he goes to kill someone else. So yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but yeah, it was a good episode. Or a good season overall. I thought it made sense where they went story wise, and I thought it was all well directed, well written. I think Bill Hader continues to do a great job in the starring role. And
great job, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad Hader's having so much success with the show because he's obviously very talented.
Yeah, and the definition of what's a drama and what's a comedy is just continuing to blur even more and more. Just because it's a 30-minute show does not mean it's a comedy because that shit gets dark. Some of our hour-long dramas can be hilarious.
Yeah, it's definitely a very dark comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Which is how I like to consume my comedy, so it works.
There you go. So yeah, we will wait patiently for season 4. Who knows when that's going to come out, but we'll be there when it does. Segueing into an hour-long drama that is fucking hilarious, we have The Boys. We are now basically, where would you say we are? The middle, probably over halfway into the season now. We've gotten
How many episodes is it? 9?
It's only an 8-episode season. And that, sir, is why I've been so hard on the season. It's because we only have 3 episodes left. And it just seems like there has been no general direction to this season in comparison to season 2 and 1. The biggest reason is the fact that it seems like the Soldier Boy character is supposed to be one of the pivotal characters of this season and where they're going. And he's had minimal scenes and dialogue in these first 5 episodes.
I kept reading that. That's so interesting to me because everyone keeps talking about that character, but he hasn't really had anything to do with the season as of yet.
Minimal. He's
building him
a big
up.
plot point, but they're just building him up super slow.
I mean that's cool.
It'd be cooler if they were more upfront, I guess, about that from the start. But
I can see that.
They talked about him incessantly. The 2 things they talked about going into season 3 were Soldier Boy and Hero-gasm. So we got Hero-gasm coming up next, which the way they talk it up sounds like it's, I guess, somewhat standalone-ish, but
I don't know how they're gonna make it standalone, and then it's just 2 episodes left.
When they had the season and they listed the air dates for them, they didn't have titles for any, but they're Hero-gasm or episode 6. That is the thing. That's
huge. So then it may be standalone.
I don't know. It'll advance things. It has to advance some things. But yeah, I mean, there's only gonna be 2 hours left after this episode.
It's not a lot.
Hero-gasm's got to be insane.
I don't know how they're gonna get away with what they do based on the things we've seen already on the show.
But they know that they can't promise it's gonna be insane and not deliver.
The dude who plays Homelander said he couldn't even watch the episode. He's there are things that you will not be able to unsee. He's I personally couldn't watch it.
Damn.
I mean, it's just a crazy superhero orgy, isn't it? Isn't that what orgasm is?
Yeah. Just
They say that they're like taking
drugs,
on some big like
sex.
interplanetary threat, and they just have like an orgy
for a weekend. I know, like from the comics, like I read like things that happened in it, like Homelander, like
Soldier Boy, right?
Homelander bangs Soldier Boy. Huey gets like kind of raped by Black Noir. You find out like the Seven were responsible for like a plane crashing into, I think, like the Brooklyn Bridge on 9/11. Like, just like, yeah, I guess it was a big fucking miniseries, but just things that I can't imagine them doing on television.
Yeah, some of it, like with the characters, it wouldn't make sense. Like I think Starlight is part of the orgy. I don't see that happening.
No.
So they're going to change things based on like decisions they've made with the characters that wouldn't make sense. I don't know that really anything's going to happen to Huey either. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they've basically turned Huey into a drug addict in this season. So yeah, I doubt.
I love his powers. Like, it's kind of like the guy that could go invisible,
translucent.
Like, I love how his powers, Huey's powers, are also like have that realism.
Yeah.
To it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
If you could,
if you teleport, you're not going to go.
Yeah.
Your clothes aren't going with you.
Yeah, exactly. So they're just like naked.
Yeah.
I actually liked when he I think I'm kind of sick of Homelander's powers. It's just like laser eyes. But Huey's are still fun to me.
Yeah.
He's like teleporting out of his clothes.
Yeah, and then what else have we got? I mean, Stan Edgar got taken off. He's no longer running Vought.
Homelander's
Veronica took over his spot, or took over, like, got him fired.
Yeah, she got him fired. It seems like Homelander is in charge with like Ashley as a
figurehead.
Basically. But Homelander's leading everything, which is not good for Vought because Homelander's crazy.
The scene where Ashley and Starlight had their conversation, and you could tell Ashley like doesn't want to like isn't all in on like the horribleness of everything, but then she's like, "Oh, well, I'm the CEO." Like, Starlight, you're a fucking superhero too. Like, start using your threats, because like Homelander's not the only one who can like talk a big game. I don't know.
Yeah, but Homelander, like, I like that Homelander was able to trump her trump card.
Yeah.
Where she's like, "I've got the video of you like crashing the plane."
We talked
about this scene already, but he's just like, "That's fine."
Yeah. Like, release it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'll kill all these people.
Yeah. So Homelander's back in control, which is interesting. Yeah, we're just getting Homelander just like going down his crazy path. He gets crazier and crazier, I think, with each episode.
And now we've got Butcher having sex with Maeve. So he is becoming more and more of a superhero person by the episode, by using the powers, like, and making any excuse possible so he can use the powers. And now he's sleeping with superheroes. I don't think he's going to be as anti-superhero or as much as he just is anti-Homelander, like, by the time the show ends.
Maybe. I'm not really sure where they're going with the boys.
Like the show as a whole, or with the characters?
The characters.
Because they're not that... why? Well, because I was ripping on them in our chat this past week.
I just don't really know what they're... I mean, right now it seems like their goal is, based on the last episode, and I guess based on the entire season, their goal is to take out Homelander using Soldier Boy, or teaming up with Soldier Boy.
So then they just have a new threat in Soldier Boy if they defeat Homelander.
Do they only have one more season left?
And you can't kill Homelander because he's by far the best part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many more seasons.
I don't know if they got renewed
it got renewed for season 4.
Yeah, I did see that.
for just one season, right?
I think
it wasn't a 2-season renewal.
Yeah, I think they've always been doing it one at a time.
I feel like it can't be much longer.
They could like try to capture Homelander and like lock him up or something. Just so that he's like off the board for a little bit or something. You can't kill him.
Yeah, like you could have him off the show, like in a prison, and then like you still have to go to him all the time, so he gets his screen time. It would be what they did with Jeffrey Dean Morgan on The Walking Dead, essentially. He's the big bad guy of later seasons, and then they imprison him, and he's like in a prison the entire for one whole season, and then he ends up working with them. So you can do like.
He couldn't work with them. He would have to get out and be like
exactly
the big bad again.
Like he could be a Magneto helping them for like a season, and then go back into being like the bad guy. Like if they do like a 7-season run, we're just pitching season by season right now. But
yeah, you can't kill him.
You can't kill him.
He's definitely like, I don't know what the show is without him.
Like the show's called The Boys, but it should be called Homelander, or The Seven, because they are so much more interesting than The Boys.
But not as much as to me, a lot of The Seven became a lot less interesting, and now it's just Homelander.
It's Homelander in the Deep for me.
The Deep, though, they've been going a little. I don't like where they've taken the Deep recently, where he's just taking notes from his wife.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a stupid. I don't know. He's not as funny
as
he used to be when he's in that role. Starlight's been I don't know. She's been kind of one note to me. At this point, she's always I'm not happy with how bad things are, but.
And I like Maeve, but she doesn't get enough to do.
Yeah, it just seems like a lot of the Seven haven't a lot to do, and then it's just the Homelander show where Homelander's here's how crazy I am.
Yeah, it's really just Homelander and Butcher, the two that get stuff, and Huey and Starlight. They're the 4 that get stuff to do, and then everyone else just sort of fucking fumbles in place, or just what keeps running in circles, doing nothing.
They have nothing to do with A-Train. It feels like.
No, yeah, his storyline is getting a little ridiculous, too current eventy.
And it's weird too because there's a plot line where they're we gotta build a team to take down Homelander, and they're A-Train, will you join us? And I was A-Train can't do shit right now.
Yeah, he's useless.
He doesn't have a super speed. What use is this guy?
Yeah.
You might as well ask Bob off the street to join your fucking team.
Well, no wonder the guy who asked him died.
Yeah. That was fun. But that was another Homelander scene.
Exactly.
But I thought that was good. He's Homelander's just find your own way home.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
Flies away.
But yeah, they really need Soldier Boy to be an awesome character, because the show needs awesome characters at this point to go along with everyone else. MM, I like him, but he's just continually I want to quit, and I'm angry, and want to do this and that, and he just keeps getting Butcher just keeps telling him no. And then I still don't understand what the fuck's going on with Frenchie. What's his storyline?
I don't know. The musical scene was so poorly placed.
Yes, I was what the fuck? Didn't work happening?
At all. For me, at least.
Is Kamiko getting her voice back? With her,
I don't know.
At the same time that she lost her powers, I didn't know what the fuck was happening there.
I don't know. The whole musical thing though, I was just what the fuck are we I'm all for a musical piece to be in a show if it makes sense, but this was just felt kind of forced.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like it worked. Yeah, I mean, I think overall I still like the season. I agree it seems a little it's hard to tell where they're going, especially we're this far in. It may just be that the plot is simply get Soldier Boy
to
kill Homelander.
Yeah. The season might be just get Soldier Boy to agree that he's going to be taking down Homelander.
And then try, I guess.
And they have their weapon, yeah.
So that may be it. And it may just be like, remember those outrageous scenes we had in Herogasm and the premiere episode that people still talk about with the dick stuff.
But yeah, season 2 just had such a clear, like, they did the Stormfront story like so much better. Like each episode was building like towards the inevitable like confrontation with Stormfront and Homelander.
Yeah.
And this one just it just seems a little more aimless right now. But I'm sure they know what they're doing. I mean, they've clearly have known what they've been doing in previous seasons. So
yeah, what I'm interested to see is like Jensen Ackles. I've always seen he's a guy that plays Soldier Boy. I've always seen him as like a likable character. So I'm interested to see if he can do Dick, like shitty character well, or if he's going to struggle with that. I think that's what I'm interested to see because Anthony Starr obviously can do like a douchebag really well.
yeah.
But I don't know that every actor can do that. So it'll be interesting to see how if Soldier Boy works or doesn't work. But maybe we'll see him in episode. Well, I guess potentially him and Homelander having sex in the Herogasm episode.
Yeah, they said that's not happening. So.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. But I would imagine they will have a scene together. That's probably when they'll have their first confrontation. Probably strictly verbal.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if Herogasm can live up to the hype because it feels like it's coming in with a lot of hype. And
yeah, exactly.
It seems like it's going to be hard for the show to be able to live up to the expectations that people have, which is going to be like a fucking porno.
Exactly. On Amazon Prime. But yeah, we'll talk about that episode specifically in our next episode. But let's get into our next show, which is Ms. Marvel. So yeah, we've had the first 2 episodes so far. This is our latest MCU show on Disney Plus. We've been pretty hard on Disney Plus shows in general and the MCU shows on Disney Plus, but I'm digging this one so far. I'm pleasantly surprised. Well, not so much pleasantly surprised because I enjoyed the character in the Avengers video game, so I thought she'd be fun. But they are doing they're doing things sort of different from other MCU origin stories, and it's coming across like there's only been so many like coming of age type ones at the same time. We haven't really gotten a coming of age origin story in the MCU because they had Spider-Man already being Spider-Man, and I would say the character most similar to Ms. Marvel is Peter Parker, Spider-Man. So it's been cool seeing the early days of her becoming this character, and honestly, I'm just digging like you could take off the superhero stuff, and I'm just enjoying it as like a high school coming of age story with
I was thinking the same thing, honestly.
And her family.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing when I was watching it. I was just like, because there really hasn't been I mean, there's superhero stuff, but it's not a huge part of the story, or it's not. It's kind of like she's dealing with it, but it's how it affects her life. It doesn't feel like they're necessarily building up to some overarching big bad at the moment. And I was like, I kind of like this. This is kind of just fun. Like, I don't need this to go anywhere other than like she's got powers and how that affects her everyday life. But yeah, I was someone that wasn't super into it based on the trailer that I saw. The trailer didn't really do anything for me, but I'm really digging the show, like way more than I thought I would. I think the actress is really great. I think she does a great job of just being super likable. She's like nerdy, but in a fun way, and I'm just digging this show so far, which I find really surprising because I've been feeling pretty Disney Plus out with a lot of their content. And the show, though, I'm enjoying more than most of the stuff that I've seen on Disney Plus. So it's kind of a nice little surprise after just what's that show? Moon Knight was just, I was so blonde. Moon Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're going to talk about Obi-Wan, but I'm kind of not really feeling Obi-Wan that much either at this point. And there's just a lot of Disney Plus shows that I think I've complained about on these episodes before, of just feeling like they don't really know what they're doing. And this actually feels like a TV show. Like, it feels like these showrunners actually understand how to make a TV show, and we're not just getting like a weirdly cut, really long movie or normal.
I'm definitely worried for the later episodes like that.
Yeah,
like that's typically like these even shows that have like started strong have ended like fairly weak on Disney Plus. So hopefully that's not the case here. But yes, they do seem like they know how to make a TV show so far.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the actress who plays Kamala Khan? Since you both have played like Avengers and you kind of have some visibility to the character itself.
Oh, she's fantastic. Iman Vellani is killing it. It's going to be really fun seeing her interact with other MCU characters down the line. Just based on how the character's written, and I can just see how like she's going to be a blast, especially when she meets Captain Marvel, and I'm assuming the movie.
Yeah, nice.
Next year. But yeah, she had a couple moments that Doug and I agreed in episode 2 where it was just like she's like a fucking star.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's just really good at
charismatic.
Yeah, incredibly charismatic. And that's always an impressive thing when you're playing like a dorky type of character.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just, you can see how much fun she's having. Because she was a Ms. Marvel like fangirl like growing up. So like the fact that now she's playing this character is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. I really think you should check the show out, Corey.
I'm definitely going to. I just haven't had the chance to start it yet.
I think I had mentioned this before, but I'm interested to see. Like, I heard it's maybe the lowest. It's getting the lowest ratings out of all the Disney Plus Marvel type shows. I mean, it's not that surprising to me. I think a lot of people, has been starting to get tired of, been disappointed by a lot of the Marvel shows. She's not really a character that a lot of people are familiar with.
There's a lot of reasons. I mean,
the
first 3 shows were all established characters in the MCU. So like the only fair comparison is Moon Knight, and Moon Knight has Oscar Isaac in the lead role. And that had like Super Bowl commercials. It was definitely hyped up more than Ms. Marvel was. Ms. Marvel came out in the shadow of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Literally airs on the same day as Obi-Wan. So I think there's a lot of reasons why. But I think this is the type of show that's going to like get the best like kind of reviews outside of like the WandaVisions and Lokis, and find a lot of like fans later on. And they're going to have the young fans, which is ultimately what they want out of this show.
Yeah, I think this show's going to, assuming that the episodes continue to be as strong as the first 2, I think this show's going to, you're going to start seeing it build steam.
And they'll
just start talking highly about it.
I'm sure that they're going to make sure audiences know that they need to watch Ms. Marvel before the Marvels comes out in 2023. So people will catch it later on also, like prior to that movie coming out next summer.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's a show that people I think should start checking out. And I'll let you guys know if I change my mind and it starts doing the typical Disney Plus TV show format where it just takes a nosedive and spins its wheels and then ends abruptly.
Yeah.
In the last episode.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll talk more about it.
Yeah, but really hoping it doesn't go that route.
Absolutely. All right, and then let's get into some movies. I'll talk about Jurassic World Dominion first, since I'm the only one who's seen it. Well, what do you guys? Do you have anything you want to know about this movie? I don't want to spoil the whole thing for you guys, so you guys can ask me your questions about the film.
Is it as
You can go, Doug.
okay? I was gonna just ask, is it as bad as the reviews make it sound like it is?
Definitely not as bad. I would give it a 2 out of 5. I'd say it's the worst in the series. Both
It's worse
Jurassic
than
Park and World.
both the Park and World series.
It's worse than
Holy
Fallen
shit.
Kingdom.
Yeah, I'd say it's worse than Fallen Kingdom
Wow. Now I really want to watch it.
because I liked the first half of Fallen Kingdom,
Okay.
and this one is just like like kind of absurd like the whole time, and just it gets even like it gets pretty stupid.
Yeah, I
and
heard
so
like
does
the
Fallen
second
Kingdom,
half,
but-
it gets like really out there.
Yeah, but like Jurassic, like Fallen Kingdom had some legitimately like good stuff from in the first half. Granted, it's member berries type stuff, like the Brontosaurus like dying, the first one that the whole gang sees in Jurassic Park, dying when the like fucking Isla Nublar's, the volcano comes out. Also, why do you build a park on a volcanic island? That's probably a bad decision, John Hammond. But
He didn't make very good decisions.
because he didn't realize there was gonna be a 5th movie. That was the reason why. But yeah, this one, and like, all right, it's a dinosaur movie. There's no real dinosaur deaths in this dinosaur movie. It's like the opposite of what Malcolm says in Jurassic Park, where he's like, "Is there going to be dinosaurs on the dinosaur tour?" And in this one, it's like, "Is there going to be dinosaur deaths in this dinosaur movie?" Like, it's like a fucking locust movie. Like, locusts play more of a plot than dinosaurs.
I heard about that. Yeah, I
It's
heard
a
about that.
very strange choice.
How are the legacy characters?
They're all good.
I heard Malcolm.
What were you gonna say?
Well, what I read was that Malcolm was like watered down, to hell.
I would say he was the weakest of the 3.
That's so disappointing.
Yeah, it's either Sam Neill or Laura Dern. I would particularly go Sam Neill, but I can imagine a lot of people saying Laura Dern. But yes, Jeff Goldblum got the least to do, and he was more of like the remember this type of like character, like with callbacks and stuff.
Yeah.
The world characters, more of the same from them. Like, they've got no fucking personalities. They're like, it's like a shade of a character was like put on paper. But yeah, there's like 2 dinosaur deaths in the entire film.
Jeez.
Off the top of my head, there's like 3 maybe. And they're not remotely scary. Like, there's no sense of dread or there's no sense of wonder. Like, it's such a pale imitation of what the series like started out as.
How's the main villain?
Fucking sucks. He's terrible.
I heard he's like really bad.
He's horrible. But he's probably like probably my biggest problem with the movie is how bad like the villain is. He doesn't play Dodson at all like the guy did in the first movie.
It's Dodson.
Yeah, it's Dodson.
Interesting choice. Wow. Okay.
It just the character is very strange.
Same actor, right?
No, different actor. The first actor got arrested for like bad stuff.
Okay.
So they couldn't bring him back. But you'd almost wish they did because of how bad this guy does with the character. I think he was just written very poorly.
Yeah,
And then like they call back to like the Barbasol, like they have the Barbasol can in the movie, but it doesn't make sense. Like, because the Barbasol can only lasted like
the original one.
Yeah, like it was only supposed to last like a weekend. So like, why are you like having this on display in like your office, and then like he's carrying it around at the end? I was able to. The movie's very predictable. If I have to ask you, how does the main character die? You can probably guess. Not the main character, the main villain. How does the main villain die?
Getting eaten by a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
No.
Dilophosaurus?
Yes.
Okay. That was my second choice.
Why you got to bring back the You brought back the Dilophosaurus. You gotta.
Paletia asked me something, or said something similar to me, and then I was like, he dies from a Dilophosaurus, doesn't he? And then he's like, yeah. They very predictable movie. Like, great.
And let me guess, he dies in a very similar way to Wayne Knight.
A similar way, but there's like multiple of them. But it's in a vehicle, and he has the Barbasol can with him when it happens. It's just a disappointing series. I never liked the whole Chris Pratt and Raptor thing, him training raptors. They fucking have neutered the Velociraptors so much in this fucking series.
Well, it defeated that whole storyline, and I think I've griped about this before. It defeats the whole point of Jurassic Park, and even the Michael Crichton book is you can't tame these dinosaurs. They're the fucking it's the wild.
Yeah.
And they're gonna do what they want to do, and you can't put them behind a cage and say dance monkey. These are fucking. It's nature. It's animals. They're just gonna do their shit. And then it's oh no, they're dogs now, and we can just fucking teach them. And it was that defeats that's not that's the opposite of the point they were trying to make.
Well, there was that one clip that they show in the trailer where he's doing the hand thing to the fucking T-Rexes. They're not. Why should they listen? They're wild dinosaurs. They don't know. But they listen. It makes no sense.
Yeah, and it's got a very similar
superpowers.
It's got a very similar ending to Jurassic World too, where the dinosaur gets to have the heroic moment, which was a callback to Jurassic Park. But it worked in Jurassic World, I thought.
Yeah, it did.
But it didn't
redo it.
It didn't work in this one at all.
I thought it worked the best in Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
because
far the best in Jurassic Park.
It wasn't really a heroic moment. It was just dinosaurs fighting each other, and it happened to work out for the humans who just were there.
Yeah,
survival.
Exactly.
I thought that's what made the most. I hate the whole personification of these fucking dinosaurs. I hate that whole I guess I hate World. I hate the story that World went with, which was I think the park actually opening was a fun idea, but the dinosaurs could be tamed, and our friends is shitty.
I liked World when it first came out, but repeat viewings I like it less and less. And I mean, I still haven't seen Fallen Kingdom. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm actually kind of excited to watch it now.
Yeah, and the clone girl plays an important part in the movie, and the whole resolution of the story. She's a big part. Also, stupid fucking storyline. The story, you just gotten so far away from dinosaurs. You know why the locusts exist? You know why the locusts exist? You want to know why the locusts exist?
The amber, the mosquitoes.
No. It's so Dotson can control the world's food supply. He created locusts that specifically destroy crops that his company didn't build.
Is this InGen?
No, it's another company.
Another
Biosyn.
Another one.
Because he was always competing.
He worked for the competitor. That's why he was working with Wayne Knight to get the
stuff.
Yeah, to get the amber DNA or the dino DNA.
Wait a minute. So let me get this straight. He creates bugs, these locusts, to destroy our crops to control population.
No, to control the food supply, so he can jack up his prices of food.
Okay, and that's his end game.
So creating dinosaurs, that wasn't enough chaos.
Oh my God.
You want to know what they should have done? Which they should have brought back the lawyer. He somehow survived the T-Rex attack.
Oh, he somehow survived that.
They cloned the lawyer. They didn't tell you they cloned them previously.
No, honestly, they should have just fucking brought back Samuel Jackson, and he was missing an arm. He survived.
Yeah,
bring him back.
Yeah, how
that would have made more sense.
I was surprised they didn't bring back Tim and Lex.
Me Maybe they were like, nah,
Yeah,
we're
they're
good.
like, we'll pass.
This is fucking shit.
But yeah, based on how this director fucking botched the Jurassic Park story so poorly with this trilogy,
This is
I think
Trevorrow, right?
yeah, Colin Trevorrow. I think he would have fucking ruined episode 9, just like,
Yeah.
I mean, just as much as JJ Abrams.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I can't even pretend to get hyped for like what his version could have been anymore because he fucking doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know why Spielberg picked him like for this and why they stuck with him for a whole trilogy. And I don't understand how this was like. It's it's Jurassic World, and the dinosaurs, you barely follow them around in the world. Like the whole final act is on, I guess, some sort of fucking, I don't know what it is, some farm that all the dinosaurs are on for the most part, a preserve. So like, you call a movie Jurassic World, then you should be seeing like dinosaurs all around the world causing chaos.
Mm-hmm.
But the director's like, well, that wouldn't have been realistic. So I'm gonna make a movie about locusts and clones instead, and that'll
so much
make
more realistic.
Yeah, that'll make more sense.
Yeah,
I have more things.
That sounds horrible. I'll wait till rent this one.
I have so much more to make fun of, but I'll hold off on it.
Do you think they'll make more?
Yeah, because the fucking movie makes money.
Yeah.
So yes, they will.
Yeah, the movie's gonna make like $400 million.
They'll fucking make Jurassic Universe. They'll make a trilogy of that next. Finding dinosaurs in space.
I mean, there is people that are always saying that like the next place for Jurassic Park to go is just combine it with Fast and Furious.
Be fucking entertaining at least.
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's the same studio.
Dinosaurs are family.
I mean, world's gotten so ridiculous. It sounds like that. Why not at this point?
Why not? Why not? Fucking Dom, fucking driving around with velociraptors on both sides of them. They team up to fight a bad guy. Why not?
Yeah.
Sounds more entertaining than Chris Pratt riding around his
It
motorcycle.
would be substantially more entertaining because they gave a charismatic guy like the most boring character to play.
Yeah.
Even Bryce Dallas Howard's character is fucking so boring.
Yeah, she's a bit of a.
She just like screams. That's like the majority of what her character.
She got the
does.
only like. There were some mildly intense scenes in this one. She gets all of those scenes basically. She plays scared pretty well, but yeah, the character's another character that's just not well written.
And has zero chemistry with Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
I've never bought that those two have any sort of romantic interest in each other.
I mean,
no chemistry whatsoever.
I don't think Chris Pratt's had romantic chemistry with anyone since Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
He peaked on Parks and Rec.
Even when Zoe Saldana, it was just like, this is acting. Like they're forcing it
I mean,
so hard.
it's more like her character's like always like fucking get away from me, weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not exactly a very romantic relationship.
So does this final Chris Pratt performance get you all pumped up for his Mario performance next year?
Not excited for Mario. I'm not excited for Garfield. I'm excited for Guardians 3 though.
Yeah,
that I'm excited for. And Thor 4 also.
Of course.
But yeah, we'll talk more about Jurassic World after you guys see it because there'll be so much more. There's a lot more to make fun of.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it as soon as possible, like once it's on VOD, which I'm sure won't be long.
But it is nice seeing the three characters together again, and even if it was a wasted movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a wasted opportunity of a film.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It is. All right, and then Lightyear, Pixar's unfortunate attempt at spinning off the Toy Story universe. What did you think, Doug?
The more I reflect on this movie, the more I'm just like sour about this movie existing. The more I'm not convinced that they knew what the hell this movie was like, because we got those title cards in the beginning.
Yeah.
That was just like, Andy, watch
In
Like,
1995, a boy named Andy watched a film about a space ranger named Buzz Lightyear. This is that film.
right. That felt like they came up with that like at the end or something.
Yeah, they're like, why everyone's confused about what this movie is.
Because the marketing doesn't really explain like what this movie is. Like, you get that title card at the beginning, and there was nothing about this movie that made me feel like this was a 1994 action movie that would have caused a young boy to be like, I'm a really big Buzz Lightyear fan now. Like, nothing about that movie played into that. I was happy to hear that you also like found yourself getting sleepy in the second act, because I was like, God, like, so I saw this movie like midday, and I was
so did I.
like struggling to keep my eyes open.
I saw it at 1 o'clock. I think you saw it at like 12:45.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys coordinated that like perfectly, or we did. I mean, I ended up not going to the film, but it was.
Yeah, I was just like struggling to keep my
timing.
eyes open, and I was just like, this is so boring. Like, I'm waiting. I need something to happen, because the first act I actually thought was pretty interesting. Right? I mean, it's like Buzz is this character that's, you know, obsessed with, he fucks up and gets his whole like group stranded onto this inhospitable planet, and so his goal is to try to get everyone home, and that requires him to try to push. Corey, do you want me? Are you planning on seeing this movie?
Eventually.
I don't want to like spoil the shit out of it.
No,
All
that's
right,
fine.
It's the first act. You can.
I'll just talk about the first act then.
I mean, no.
It
Talk about
costs-
the whole. Let's talk.
No,
about
you can talk about.
we need to talk about Sarah.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
fine.
so it causes him to push the boundaries and go, you know, whatever times the speed of light in order to like whatever find interstellar travel to get his people back to their planet, and so that has time consequences, and every time he does it, it causes 4 years to pass, and he like tries to do it every day basically. And so the whole first act is just like flying through time and just seeing like everybody else get older as Buzz just like takes off and comes back and fails. Like, there's always something that goes wrong.
Yeah, like it's a 30-minute mission. Every 30 minutes for him is 4 years for everyone else.
Yeah, so
It's a cool concept.
yeah, Interstellar did it as well, and it was interesting when they did it then. But yeah, I mean, like, it winds up being like what, 70 years
Yeah.
past. I think that's what Socks says. Which there's a lovable cat robot named Socks.
Who's a better character than Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah, who has probably stole the show. Super funny. He was that voiced by that guy that does a bunch of Pixar voices. I can't remember his name.
Peter Sohn.
Yeah, Peter Sohn. And so Socks was great. But yeah, 70 years pass by. You see like Buzz's like best friend, I guess, like age, get old, have a family, die, essentially in the first act. Which I think I saw my wife tear up, but it didn't really hit me because
It didn't get me in the Pixar tears, but
yeah,
I was like, no, it's emotional.
Yeah, I just like I didn't feel like I knew the character well. I don't know. The Up, I didn't really know the wife that well, and Up gets me.
Yeah, I mean,
more.
Ellie yeah.
I don't know.
They
For
just
whatever
did those
reason,
first 10 minutes perfectly.
yeah, it seemed like that was designed for tears, and for whatever reason, it didn't get me. And then we go to like the second act where he finally, like, Socks figures out the formula because he's had 70 years to like try to crack it and get it to Buzz. Buzz like gets interstellar travel and winds up going like even further through time, and lands to the like least interesting bunch of fucking people that he's gonna be with for like the rest of the story, which is this fucking, it's supposed to be this lovable ragtag team of people that are going to be his companions throughout the rest of the movie. One of them being the granddaughter of the character that we see die. The other one being a Taika Waititi character, which is just Taika, it feels like. And then I don't know who the third character
and
was.
a woman from Orange is the New Black.
Okay, and she's just like an old lady, and her character, like their all their character traits were like
a gravelly voiced woman who blows things up.
Yeah, gravelly voiced woman that blows things up. Taika Waititi is just like Taika Waititi.
Just like, an idiot.
Just like making
useless.
And I think just like improving all of his lines.
But like he was having an off day because he didn't have good improv.
Well, it was a kids movie, so like all of his improv is like shot. He's just like his main character trait was like, look, I got a pen.
Yeah,
that was like his.
They went way too hard on that pen.
Yeah, and then the granddaughter was fine, but like not as interesting to me as the grandmother was as a character. So being stuck with that group for Act 2, I was just kind of like, this kind of sucks. They didn't really do anything. Like, there was just kind of... Yeah, I mean, this is the part where I'm, like, starting to fall asleep, is this, like, Act 2, where it's just, like...
It sounds like you're going to fall asleep now giving your review of Act 2.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember what happens during this act, and I don't think anything happens.
You find out that Zurg is...
That doesn't happen until Act 3. That's when it gets interesting again.
Wow.
Act 2, we're just, like, stuck with Buzz and this, like, boring-ass group of misfits.
I don't know what they're trying to do. I guess they're fighting robots a lot of the time.
I don't know. I like, literally can't
Act
remember.
2 and 3, I thought, just sort of, like, jumbled together.
I don't think we find out who Zurg is until, like, pretty close to the end of the movie.
I thought it was earlier.
I don't think so, because they have to get aboard the ship.
No, he comes down to them.
But he doesn't come out of the suit until, like, Buzz is up on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
And reveal who he is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think they're just fighting robots and making
bad jokes.
Unfunny jokes the entire time. This is, like... Because this is the part where I'm, like... struggling to stay awake right now.
All right. So
at a 12, what time did you go see this? At 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Mine would have been 12:30 or 12:45.
Yeah, because you were talking about the
riveting film.
You were talking about the Nicole Kidman it had when I was walking into my theater. And I was at 1 o'clock, so that would have made sense if you were at 12:30. Zurg. So we found out who Zurg is.
We don't necessarily find out who Zurg is.
What do you mean?
I don't know if this was like they thought about it at all, or if this was just like a thrown together plot point. But okay, I don't want to steal your thunder. So first, like, reveal who Zurg is on the movie, and I'll talk about the rest of the storyline.
Okay, so Zurg is Buzz Lightyear, an older version from an alternative, I guess, universe. Did that make sense to you?
Well, it's the same timeline. It's the original Buzz Lightyear.
Okay, so it's the Buzz Lightyear that would have, if that just stayed on Earth the entire time, that just stayed on that abandoned place the entire time, like that hospitable planet.
Yeah, no. So it's the Buzz that. So when Buzz comes back, there's like all these robots. The Buzz that we see come back, there's all these robots invading, and there's this stuff. This is the Buzz. The robots were only there because older Buzz traveled back in time and brought the robots with him. So this is the older Buzz that there were no robots there because future Buzz never came back in time yet. And so this is the Buzz that just was never met the gang of misfits because there was no, like, that scenario wasn't lined up for him. And so he was just focused. He didn't have the misfits to soften him and make him into a character that saw beyond the mission. This was a Buzz that was still on the mission of just getting his people back home.
Still not following it, but sure.
We'll take away, like, if you think about it, when we follow the story and Buzz lands on the planet, the last time, there's robots there, right?
Yeah.
So, but those robots were only there because Buzz brought the robots back in time.
Who is Future Buzz though?
Future Buzz is the original Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, but how are they? How is there a few?
So the Buzz Lightyear that we see is like kind of like the second Buzz Lightyear. Like there's already been a Buzz Lightyear that's gone through and made it all the way to the future to bring the robots back in time. And by bringing the robots back in time,
Why did he go back in time?
Because he was trying to, he wanted to stop the crash of the ship and stranding his people.
So he just didn't go
to
far
never
back.
happen.
He just didn't.
He couldn't go far enough back in time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why he needed the other thing in order to go back further, right?
I was gonna say, is this a Biff Tannen scenario where he goes back and just fucks everything up?
Yeah, well, the Buzz we see is living in a reality that's already been altered by the future Buzz. That's why they're different.
It's fucking way too
Got it.
convoluted.
Yeah, that's not what I was expecting at all.
I thought it was fine, but yeah, they don't spend a lot of time explaining any of it. They're just kind of
Makes
like,
sense.
yep, I'm future Buzz, and those robots were there because I brought them there, but they weren't there when I went back in time. When I went back in time, the colonel or whatever locked me up, and then I was able to escape and get back on the ship and fly my ship and went further into the future. But yeah, so he essentially finds a ship in the future that already has robots on it and a Zerg suit, and he puts on the Zerg suit and all the robots obey him. But the question I have is, well, then there's somebody else that was wearing the Zerg suit with the robots before Buzz gets whatever Buzz you want to call him, before that Buzz gets to the future and finds the suit. Like someone else wore that suit. Like he didn't make the suit. There was a Zerg suit already there, and the robots were already there. So they could set it up based on the box office. I don't think they're setting up anything. But they could have set it up that there was like some other character named Zerg and Buzz just like hijacked his shit.
Disappointing film.
You're like, I don't want to think about this movie anymore.
They probably should have had Tim Allen voice the character. I guess
Definitely.
this was supposed to be a live action version that Andy was watching. Because I know now if you go to Disneyland, you see live action, like you see a human Buzz Lightyear. And if you go to California Adventure, you get toy Buzz Lightyear. So yeah, I guess this was supposed to be a live action film.
Yep.
Why live action 1995 looked way better than live action or than Andy's Real World in 1995 doesn't make much sense. Did Disney and Pixar make this film? Because it says Disney presents after talking about Andy. So I have questions about that.
What do you mean?
Like the movie opens with the title screen about how a boy named Andy watched this movie. This is the movie. And then the movie starts, it goes on for a bit, and then it goes, Disney presents a Pixar film. So did Disney and Pixar make the movie Lightyear in Andy's universe?
Yeah, that's weird.
So there's a lot of things that just didn't make sense.
Yeah, this movie just kind of felt like Disney told Pixar, like, you're making a Lightyear movie.
Yeah.
And Pixar was like,
they were going to make a sci-fi movie, and they're like, no, you're turning this into a Buzz Lightyear movie.
Yeah, and then, like, at the last minute, they decided this is the movie that Andy watched.
Yeah, they're like, oh, fuck. The adults can't handle what this is.
They can't figure out how to make it, like, tie into the Toy Story universe any other way. But, like, you would think if they were going to make it a live-action 90s movie, like, action sci-fi movie, that they would have had more fun with it than they did.
Like, it'd feel like a 90s movie?
Right. Like, do, like, cheesy lines and make it feel, like, more like a 90s movie. This didn't feel anything like that.
No.
It didn't feel like a movie that...
It felt like it was trying to be a blockbuster movie of now.
Yeah, and to me, it didn't feel like a movie that a little kid is going to watch in the 90s and be like, I need a toy.
Buzz wasn't even that, like, cool. Like,
No, he wasn't cool at all.
He didn't have cool catchphrases. He was fucking getting, like, his team, like, in trouble most of the time.
I think they managed to squeeze in all of his, or the majority of his catchphrases, but yeah, they weren't
Yeah, I saw the. I heard some of them.
yeah, but it wasn't done in a way that you're
Did he
like,
ever say Buzz Lightyear to the rescue?
I don't know.
Does
If he
Woody
did,
show up?
He talked about the quadrant, like sector something of quadrant, whatever.
yeah.
That happened. He had the wings eventually show up towards the end. He was always opening his thing to talk in it. But what'd you say, Corey?
Do they reference Woody? Does Woody show up at all in the movie?
No.
Sad.
And oh yeah, Tom Hanks voices Woody in the Woody's Roundup television show in the 50s or 60s. Why doesn't Tim Allen portray Buzz Lightyear
Because Disney
in the 90s?
Because Disney wanted to take advantage of Marvel and Captain America. That's why.
Yeah, I think they couldn't think that they heard all the jokes people would have about Tim Allen by the time Toy Story 4 came out, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna get too much shit if we keep this guy in the role, because basically anyone who's not fucking a liberal person in Hollywood gets attacked on the internet. So that was my feeling about it. But yeah, I mean, Chris Evans makes sense. Stay in the Chris Evans business. But I think it would have made a lot more money with Tim Allen.
Totally. That was a bad move.
Yeah, I don't know if the Tim Allen thing really makes that big of a difference. I think the issue was no one knew what the hell this movie was.
And yeah, I mean, it felt like a cash grab spinoff.
Yeah, the
inessential.
reviews have been pretty lackluster. No one's like this. And then, I mean, we've talked about all different reasons. And then there's also the whole Pixar movies have typically, in the last couple of years, just strictly been on Disney Plus. So, people are conditioned to go.
Yeah.
Want to see this as a streaming movie instead of a movie that you're going to go out in theaters and see. And so, yeah, there's a lot of different reasons why I think the box office didn't do great.
How low would you put it among your Pixar hierarchy, you think?
So it's hard for me to think back to I don't remember Good Dinosaur and those types, but it's definitely bottom half. It's hard for me to think of a Pixar movie that I've seen recently that I've disliked more than this movie.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned Finding Dory. I just don't remember that movie
I didn't see that one.
all that well.
Yeah, I think this is probably bottom three, the third worst for me. The only ones being worse, Cars 2 and The Good Dinosaur. But yeah, I think I'd even put Cars and Cars 3 above this one. I definitely put Cars 3 above it. I don't really remember the first Cars, but I think I would put it above it. And yeah, I thought more about Finding Dory. I'd put Finding Dory above it. So yeah, it was very disappointing. To go from fucking Toy Story 1 through 4, which have an average 98 rating on Rotten Tomatoes, 98 or maybe even 99, to this is just very disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what I expected, but I definitely expected better than this from Pixar.
Yeah, they've been on a great run. I mean, since Coco, just an incredible run. But
yeah, it's a shame that this is the movie that went to theaters and poor Luca
I know
had to stream.
Luca, Soul, Turning Red, they all got screwed. Even Onward got fucked over by the pandemic. It had only been out for a week before everything closed.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's definitely unfortunate. It seems like this movie may have sealed Pixar's fate.
Yeah. I think Disney decided Pixar's fate before this movie even came out.
Yeah.
Well, if they had any thought of IP, using IP to have theatrical releases, I think they may be thinking twice now that we've got Lightyear, the end of Lightyear sets up for all these sequels and shit. And I'm just like,
Definitely not happening.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I could see them doing like a Disney Plus TV show or something, but
I think
I
it'll
don't know if
depend
it-
on how well it does on Disney Plus. If it does really well
Oh,
there,
well,
then
it's gonna be on Disney Plus in like 3 weeks, so
yeah.
because they put out their movies so fucking fast.
Hmm.
Like Doctor Strange is on there like this week.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
So yeah, it'll be on by like at the end of July, beginning of August at the latest. And yeah, I'll probably put gangbuster numbers on there because people didn't go see it in theaters because they knew it'd be on Disney Plus quickly.
Hmm.
yeah, it's a disappointment. It just didn't feel like they had an idea of what they wanted this movie to be. It just feels aimless, and I don't know. There was a family next to me the kids seemed to be enjoying it, so maybe Pixar is becoming like, you got to be a kid to.
There was a father in the row in front of me, audibly yawning, very loud throughout a bunch of the movie, or snoring. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame. I've heard a few people talk about it and talk about how they've had a hard time staying awake. So I
Yeah,
feel like at least we're not alone.
exactly.
The Act 2 is just like sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate it starts out, in my opinion, pretty strong, and then they just fucking botch it. And then Act 3 is just, by the time it gets interesting again, they have no time to like explore anything. They're just like, the end.
Yeah, it's a very quick ending.
I thought, one last thought before I forget is, I thought older Buzz, it would have been interesting if they had gotten Tim Allen
That would be cool.
instead of, was it,
James
that wasn't,
Brolin.
yeah, I was gonna say Josh. I was like, no, it wasn't Josh Brolin.
No, he already dealt with Josh Brolin in Infinity War and Endgame.
That's true. So, yeah, seems like we're on the same page. It's kind of a disappointing movie. Wish we could have gotten more out of it.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the box office then. So we've already talked about Lightyear. Jurassic World is doing Jurassic World money. Didn't get that boost that you would have hoped for from. Well, I mean, I guess I wouldn't hope for it because the movie wasn't good, but it doesn't deserve to get a boost. But I would have thought it would have gotten a boost from bringing back the original gang, but instead it basically kept the movie from cratering, I would say, by bringing them back, and it basically performed just a little worse than Fallen Kingdom. So the movie will probably end up close to 400 million.
It's gonna be like probably take the Fallen Kingdom track, I would guess.
It seems that way.
Yeah, we should put it around 400, right?
Yeah. I think Fallen Kingdom was like a $430 million movie. This will be more towards 400, 390. So not bad, but should have done better. But yeah, at this point, Top Gun Maverick, biggest movie of 2022.
Till Avatar comes out.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Top Gun might have the crown at the end of the year. Looks like it's going to be somewhere between 600 and somewhere between 600, 700 million in the U.S. It's going to be over $1 billion worldwide for sure. Avatar will have that worldwide crown, like we talked about in our last episode. But yeah, I mean, it might end up being Avatar, not having the easiest run for be the biggest movie of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as our
So crazy.
Never would have
it's
thought.
nuts. I mean, was the fall this week, Doug? 14% or 15%?
Yeah, it was under 15%.
Under 50% decline from last weekend. Fucking insane. Second biggest fourth weekend of all time.
I keep talking to more and more people that don't go to the movies as frequently as we do, and they're going to see this. They're just like, oh, that new Top Gun movie is supposed to be fantastic. Going to see it, tomorrow night or whatever. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I've heard so many
insane.
people tell me that they've either gone or going to see Top Gun.
And they're all loving it.
Yeah, they've never heard say a word about going to the theaters ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this shit is crazy. We only get yes, it's fucking fun as hell when we see Marvel movies break opening weekend records and stuff like this. But as like a box office nerd, like my entire life, this makes me so much more fucking excited watching like something like this because it's so much more rare to see something like perform so well on a week-to-week basis. The only ones like off the top of my head I can think of like this are like Titanic, Avatar, Spider-Man, the 2002 one. Yeah, and then like some other ones like My Big Fat Greek Wedding, but like held crazy strong, but with like lower numbers. But you don't see shit like this in like nowadays, so it's really cool.
Yeah, it is really neat. It's crazy that this movie became like the phenomenon that it's become. Is just would not have predicted it. Like Jurassic World, we could kind of predict that it was going to hit around 400.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is around where
Yep.
we've thought it would be. Like everything's, and then Top Gun's just like the fucking anomaly.
Yeah, I mean there was a reason why in our draft Top Gun wasn't picked until the fifth movie. Like because that like the other ones are doing exactly what we thought they were going to do, and this one just did not do what we thought it was going to do at all.
Nope.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
It's doing like 4 times better than what we thought.
Yep. What was our prediction? Like
I think
100 million?
We talked like 150. Like,
yeah.
It's going to make like 600.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's very different than our pools in the past where it was like, okay, we know Spider-Man's going to make a boatload. Like, that's not going to be a surprise, but it's just going to be like, how high is it going to go? It was surprising it made 800 million. Yeah, but like, it's not as surprising as Top Gun making 600 million.
No, not at all.
Nope. Same goes with Batman in our spring draft. Like, we knew Batman was going to make close to 400 million, or like between 300 and 400 million. Exactly what it did. It's wild.
Yeah, this draft was basically whoever got Maverick.
which it shouldn't have been. Like, in the winter, we pretty much said whoever gets Spider-Man probably gonna win. And that's why we started doing a movie counts as multiple picks. We did not do multiple picks for Top Gun.
No,
nobody expected this.
No.
And that's why when we do our fall one for this year, we are going to have to do some crazy trickery with what Avatar counts as, what Black Panther 2 counts as, because like those ones are ones we know are probably going to make a ton of money and be a cut above the rest. So, yeah, here's where we stand right now. Corey, you got 89 million between Men, Bob's Burgers, and Lightyear. Doug, you have 405 million just from Doctor Strange, and I have 768 million from Firestarter, Downton Abbey, Top Gun, Jurassic World. So, yeah, Corey's essentially eliminated because Lightyear did not work out.
Unless Minions makes like $1 billion.
Domestic.
And based on the history of Despicable Me and Minions, it'll probably be around 300.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would, at this point, animation just doesn't seem to be doing well in theaters, like beyond like $100 million. So like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what Minions makes.
At this point, I would not be surprised if Minions underperforms.
Yeah, like I'm expecting a fall down to like 200 million.
Yeah.
And the last one made over 300. Or did Minions even make 400?
I thought Minions has actually done pretty well in the past.
I think Minions
they've all done well.
This is the third Minions movie,
this
right?
Is the second Minions movie.
Maybe it was the first one that
did
really, really well.
Minions made 336 million.
And that was the highest out of all the movies, right? In the series?
No, Despicable Me 2 was the highest with 368.
Oh, okay.
Despicable Me 3 is the latest film and it made 264. I'm expecting a drop for Minions now.
200.
200, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what we can expect from that one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 180 to 200.
maybe your League of Super Pets will end up being your biggest one that you drafted this summer.
Yeah,
That's
give
possible.
me my $700 million domestic bullet train.
Yeah, right. Doug, yours
I
is
can see
still.
Bullet Train being bigger than people think, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not gonna be Top Gun Maverick. So
No.
Doug, yours is going to be interesting just to see how high you go. Again, I don't think.
I think Paws of Fury is gonna be huge. So just watch out.
What about Legend of Hank?
That's the same movie.
It's the same movie. It's
Oh, it's the same movie.
Yeah, it's like Birds of Prey, where the title's pretty long.
I mean, you're at 400 million now. You're going to get 300 from Thor at least. Elvis is a wild card. Let's just say 100.
If I'm
million.
lucky, I got 100, but
Yeah.
it probably won't be.
So that puts you at like 800 million plus those other 3 movies. It's over just because like, I mean, I'm too high at this point. Like, I still have another 200 million from fucking Jurassic Park and Top Gun. Like, I'm gonna be almost at $1 billion just from those 2. Like, before any of my other 4 movies come out. Then I still have The Black Phone, Where the Crawdads Sing, Nope, and Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
I think out of that list, Nope's really your only big earner that's outside of the. I mean, maybe some of those. I don't think Black Phone's going to make a ton of money.
No. I think they'll all do adequate.
Yeah.
Like, they'll do better than, like, most movies drafted late in later rounds. But, yes, the only one...
But Nope's your big earner that's left outside of your current earners.
Nope could be...
But yeah, that's enough we're not going to catch you.
Yeah, Nope could be 150 to 200 million dollars. So
that puts you at $1 billion just with Nope and what you've got performing.
Yeah, it puts me well over $1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so yes. This wasn't supposed to go this way. We will figure out a way to make the fall more competitive. I don't think we're gonna have a breakout movie in the fall like we did this summer, because like we've talked about, this is such a rare thing. But we'll see what happens. And then, lastly, we're gonna move on from our box office. We'll talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi since all 3 of us are caught up. Episode 4 and 5 are the latest that we've seen. Doug, I want to hear from you since you've suddenly turned on the show.
I'm very interested to hear this.
I mean, it's not good. So episode 4 is the rescue of Princess Leia?
Yes.
Is that the episode?
It's a terrible episode. I agree.
You just asked me why I'm turning on this episode, and you just agreed that before I even say anything, that episode 4 is horrible. Yeah, so episode 4 isn't a great episode. It's a lot of God. The only thing that's memorable to me of episode 4 is the fact that the Princess Leia stuff is just so bad. They decide that, like, as part of the whole Princess Leia capture, that they're gonna torture her, which basically just means they're gonna take her, put her in a chair, and there's gonna be a machine that never touches her or like comes close to touching her, but that she keeps screaming, like, "What are you doing to me?" Blah blah, and it's like it's horrible. Like I was like, she's a good. I was like on the camp that she was a good child actress, but like after that scene, I was like,
I mean, in her defense, she's only saying what she's told to do.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I mean, that was so bad, and it was just like they weren't doing anything to her. Like, why was that the line she was saying? Like, was there supposed to be some CGI like happening, or I don't know? It was just like, yeah. I mean, I guess the actress probably trusted that the director was going to make it look like something was happening.
That the adults in charge were going to know what they were doing.
Yeah, and then it wouldn't just like make her look like stupid that she was screaming for no reason.
This episode reminded me of, and I mean, if you've ever watched any long serialized animes where in between arcs they have these significant arcs of just filler. Nothing happened. It's useless material. And this episode reminded me exactly of that. Like, these characters were just put into, this random storyline that really didn't have any meaning on the story that was, being told throughout the season. And it
But
showed
it's
really, really bad.
It's a 6-episode series. Like,
I
you don't
agree.
have time for like filler episodes, but
yeah, no, there shouldn't be any filler episodes in these types of shows, period. And this is I think it's like a continuing thing, a classic
Disney Plus. Yeah, just like have a really short amount of time to get something to happen, and then just like waste it all, and then rush at the last minute to resolve the plot threads that you've failed to resolve the entire season.
Yeah, I mean there were a couple moments in this episode that I did like, but for the most part, I didn't hate it. It really took the wind out of the sails of the first 3 episodes. Like,
it had some cool Obi-Wan lightsaber stuff.
Yes, it did. It did. And there were, even though that moment with Leia was garbage, but she had a couple moments in the episode that I did actually like. But it was by far the weakest episode we've seen so far. Like, nothing happened. Nothing. So, I don't know.
All right, so do we all agree that episode 4 wasn't good?
Let me go. What are you doing to me? That was what
I know exactly what you're.
That's what I texted you.
Yeah.
I was just like, it was so goofy.
It was just so bad, and she keeps saying it. She keeps saying it over and over again, and I'm like, when are they going to do something to her to justify this line?
I wonder if they were just like, all right, this is the performance we got. Like, we didn't really give her any direction. We're just going to use this.
First off, like, there's no reason you had to like be like, let's torture her. So there's no reason to go down that road of like, let's torture her. And then if you're going to torture her, like, make something happen if you're going to have her start. But like, they kept flashing back to her saying that dialogue. Like, there was no reason to keep going back.
I think they did that to parallel episode 1 or episode 6. Sorry. Episode 4. Sorry. Episode 4, where she like gets tortured off camera by Vader, with the robot. I think that's kind of what they were trying to go for. But they really went overboard with that. Also, like, she doesn't remember any of this happening to her. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's going to be a problem with the. I mean,
that's one thing.
Like, where this show's going. I mean, that's going to be a problem with the entire series. Is like, I mean, the first New Hope, like, they didn't like write that storyline and know where they were going for the additional episodes, and then when they went to the episode 1, 2, and 3, they didn't really know. Like, none of that was thought about to the level that they went to with those. I mean, they're just kind of making shit up as they go along, and you're just gonna have to forgive the fact that things don't make a ton of sense anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I just forgot about that trauma that I went through as a like a 9-year-old.
Yeah. Oh, me and Obi-Wan, we were like best buds for a little while.
I got kidnapped and tortured, and Obi-Wan saved me.
He rescued me multiple times.
Yeah.
He saved me
but yet I don't remember him.
First he saved me from Flea, then he saved me from the torture device that didn't torture me. Great.
Yeah, I mean, it's only going to get worse. I mean, we can talk about episode 5, but I mean, it seems like it's only going to further go down the road of like, wait, none of these people, how is this like going to make sense overall? Because episode 5, we have Obi hanging out at the Jedi hideout, and Vader and Reva laying siege to the Jedi hideout, which I've seen a lot of people make fun of the fact that, when they're laying siege and they break into the area where the Jedis are, and the stormtroopers are firing, and somehow like still miss everybody, even though there's like everyone's trapped in an area.
It's on brand. It's on brand. They're regular low life.
Nobody has a worse shot in the world than a stormtrooper.
I think people are saying like this is the worst it's ever been.
Well, yeah, because they're backed into a corner, and yet they're clearly missing everyone still.
There is so much to make fun of in episode 5 as far as the like stormtroopers go, and
yeah, I mean Reva told us her whole backstory in front of all the stormtroopers, and they're all just like,
and they don't hear.
Hey, stormtroopers, go! We have Obi-Wan here. Go bring them back in there now. Okay. And then, like, they're using these battering rams and shit to try to break down the door. And then all she needed to do was use the lightsaber and open it up immediately.
Yeah, that was silly.
Everything with Ice Cube Jr.'s character makes no sense at all. Like, in episode 4, he's, like, talking about how, like, no, you definitely can't take the ship and all this stuff. And then Obi-Wan, like, insults him. And then he's like, I'll help you with anything, buddy. And it's like in a span of 30 seconds, he goes from defiantly saying he will not help him to getting made fun of to being like, I will fucking follow you to the ends of the earth. It just like they're making some dumb fucking mistakes in this back half of the season as far as characterization goes.
The whole Reva plot like doesn't make any sense to me. It seems like nonsensical. That she was like one of the younglings which I think everyone predicted was going to be the case, that she was one of the younglings that survived the Anakin Order 66 attack. But then like her whole plan was to get close to Vader by becoming a horrible Inquisitor and hunting Jedi so that she could get close enough to somehow at one point attack Vader. Like it just like, what was her plan here? Like,
yeah, she was never going to be able to beat Vader. Never.
So what was the whole? So her goal was to be an Inquisitor and hunt and kill Jedi, so that at some point she could get back at Vader for hunting and killing Jedi.
I mean, the way that I took it was that she was trying to become the Grand Inquisitor, which she did, and then in turn become like second fiddle to Vader as the Grand Inquisitor, and then sabotage and kill him while he's not looking. But Vader's like, that didn't make sense to me because Vader, that is complete opposite of the character of Darth Vader. Like, he's not like that. He wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm gonna not pay attention to everything going on around me and just get killed by an Inquisitor.
So I think the whole plot line with the Revis, I mean, we're starting to get to see, we're at CW territory at this point. I mean, we've got like,
I don't know if it's like, I mean,
it's CW.
Shows.
It's pretty nonsensical because then you've got like Vader, like, I knew all along that you were one of the younglings, but like, wasn't saying anything because you were doing such a good job or something. And then the fucking Grand,
because ultimately you were fighting
just
Obi-Wan,
humiliating her.
Yeah, so that was dumb. And then you got like the Grand Inquisitor, who was like, I didn't really die when I got stabbed with the lightsaber.
I knew he was coming back. I had a feeling.
It's just like so dumb.
It is very dumb, but.
And then they wound her, and they're just like, you're trash, you're gutter trash, so we're just gonna leave you here, Reva, to be gutter trash.
That's a smart decision.
Yeah, just like this plot is just like, I don't know. It feels like whoever's writing this thing is just like,
because they're turning a 2-hour movie into a 6-hour miniseries.
And I think that's 100% correct.
It's just the writing is like, it's pretty bad.
Like they have fucking script and now they're just padding it. I mean, I'm definitely enjoying it a lot more than you are still.
Yeah,
like, I'm like, overlooking the flaws.
The two spaceship things was dumb.
Well, where he pulls down the one and then they get away on the other.
Oh, that was so cool.
where the fuck did the other spaceship come from?
It was behind it, and yet he wasn't catching. Yet with the force powers that force sensitivity that Vader has, he didn't notice that there was another ship behind the other ship. Yes, I agree.
But like,
it was still fucking cool.
I don't think we even ever saw the other ship. Like, it just like, where did that even come from?
It was behind the other ship.
But we were in that terminal. Like
the other ship was like, "Hello there."
Yeah, it was silly, but I
and that being like cool. Obi-Wan's grand trick was fucking dumb. It was dumb. I don't know.
We are
the writing is just trash.
Where it's not going to be possible for everyone to agree on anything Star Wars anymore.
Yeah. I will say that I did like how episode 5 was structured. I liked how it intercut with that flashback. Even though I really didn't like how Hayden Christensen looked. I mean, it was fine, but it was definitely distracting for me. But the scenes themselves, I did enjoy, and I thought that they were really, really good together. It was written well for me personally. But that was probably the stuff that I liked the most out of the episode, other than the Vader Reva fight. I thought that was cool. Like, regardless of how they set it up and how it ended, I thought the fight was like pretty badass.
Yeah, the fight was interesting.
But like definitely the details, it falls apart. Like, the story definitely falls apart if you look into it.
I'd argue it's not the details; it's the larger plot points that it falls apart with. I mean, I didn't even talk about how stupid the fucking message to Obi-Wan was that got sent of like, "Oh, Obi-Wan, haven't heard from you in a while. Let's talk about that boy that's on Tatooine and hope no one gets this message because
he's going to his uncle's house." Oh, and you make a left.
That I like half missed that. Did it get intercepted, that message?
No, he sent it to Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan was like, "Oh, okay, cool. There's this message, not encrypted, not like, but just like this glaring like the biggest secret of the galaxy is just like on this fucking recorder to Obi-Wan." Doesn't know, like, hasn't heard from Obi-Wan, so like Obi-Wan could be captured for all he knows.
And that's how he starts the message, like, "Obi-Wan, I'm worried about you. Haven't heard from you in a while." Here's all our biggest secrets.
Do you think, before you continue, Doug, do you think that maybe they were really just trying to emulate George Lucas, and that's why this was kind of like this?
I have no idea. And then Obi-Wan has the recorder, and I was like, okay, cool, I got this important message. And he's like, "Kamal, you look like a good guy. Why don't you hold on to this?"
And Kamal's like, "Whoops."
Because you're Kamal Najani.
Throws it away.
Yeah,
why did he have to have the recorder? Like, why would you like hand that off?
I don't know.
Just like, I don't know. Yeah, the writing, it's they got the CW Riverdale cast or whoever or writers to like pop on the show, and like they're putting this together because
we need you guys to handle episodes 3,
4, 5, and 6.
Yes, exactly.
4 and 5 will handle the climax because that was already written.
I hope so. I hope somehow the writing gets better in the last episode. But yeah, this show is like, I was really hooked in the beginning, and it just like, they've lost me with how stupid the writing has gotten. Like, the Vader stuff is cool, and I'm sure there'll be another cool fight, probably Obi-Wan and Vader facing off, and we'll get our Liam Neeson cameo, so there'll be cool moments.
Yeah.
But I have no doubt that the writing is gonna still be super stupid. I don't know where they're going. I think, Murph, you and I talked about, like, is Vader going to Tatooine? Because that seems problematic.
Who is the final battle with? Like, what's Reva's purpose of going to Luke? Like, I don't, like...
It's not clear that she would know that that's Luke unless she somehow put that together.
Think Bale gave enough hints to figure it out, but I still don't understand why she'd want to go there. Like, does she want to go there because she thinks Obi-Wan's going to go there and she can fight Obi-Wan? But isn't her beef with Vader? Like, does he think Vader's going to follow Obi-Wan? So
I feel like her beef is with Vader. If it's with Obi-Wan still, she's stupid.
Yeah, like, is it with Obi-Wan again because Obi-Wan ditched her? Like,
well, they're sending her to Tatooine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only reason that they gave her the recorder.
Yes.
So, but like, who's going there to meet her? It can't be Obi-Wan. Although Obi-Wan had that like, oh shit, that recorder that I was super careless with might have gotten in the wrong hands.
Yeah, and like, if you think if Vader goes, he'll be able to put 2 and 2 together with like about some of this shit. Like, or he's the dumbest fucking Sith Lord in the world that like can't fucking use force sensitivity to figure out anything. How has he not figured out that? Well, I guess he hasn't interacted with Leia yet.
No,
but, like,
not
you
directly.
think he would have been able to like sense something? Like, oh, my blood's here.
I was thinking that too with like Reva like interacting with Leia. Like Reva is a Jedi. She wouldn't sense the force sensitivity or at least like mention something.
Well, she said like you're strong, so like I think she'd notice like that she's force sensitive, but I guess didn't notice that it's like Anakin's kid.
Maybe
because like she dealt with plenty of force sensitive people. She was killing them all the time.
Yeah, I mean that was. I'm fine with that because there's so many other issues I have with the show that are way larger than. But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with Vader. I don't see how you can send him to Tatooine. But
I don't either. But then, like, are we getting another fight with? I'm starting to think we're not getting another fight with Obi-Wan.
Oh my god! If the season ends, god,
they've got to fight.
What is it gonna be? A 3-way fight? Is it gonna be Reva and Obi-Wan and Vader?
Maybe they'll just send like Kamal to Tatooine to deal with Reva.
I mean, that would be hilarious. Even though his character's really dumb, I enjoy him for some reason.
It feels a little too like cashing in to me, or like a favor to Kumail. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it fits.
He's just so fucking funny. I can't hate the character.
Yeah, I just don't know the character's doesn't have a lot of point.
No, he doesn't. He has no point at all. Like there's no point.
That's why maybe he fights Reva. I have no idea where they're going with it, but I just don't see how you can send Obi-Wan to Tatooine to deal with Reva and somehow fit in his duel with Vader, unless this episode is going to be super long, which based on Disney's track record, it's probably going to be the shortest of the episodes.
Didn't we confirm that the episode's pretty long? Like with a there's a Q&A. With the Q&A, it's like 93 minutes.
Yes.
So we don't know how long the Q&A is, right?
We're gonna assume a half an hour.
Yeah. So the episode's.
I'm assuming it's gonna be close to an hour episode. A lot of assumptions being thrown around right now. It might end up being a 37-minute episode with credits.
Oh god, that would be if we. If we don't get a Vader Obi-Wan fight at the end of the season, oh my god. There's
a poster I thought with Obi-Wan and Vader.
Oh, they already fought.
Yeah, they already fought in their wherever they were. God, if that happens, that would be hilarious.
I mean, based on episode, like if it follows things from Return of the Jedi, like it should have Reva, I guess. Well, she already kind of turned on Vader. She already did turn on Vader. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Would she fight the whatever his name is, the first brother dude who has done nothing? Guy from Fast and the Furious?
Yeah, I don't think Han's gonna be showing up again. I don't know. I
think you might be right. All the Vader pictures with Obi-Wan might have been that. They look like they're from that episode 3.
I'm telling. Oh god.
I mean, it is like it's sort of ridiculous. Like they shouldn't have even had an interaction based on the original canon, between 3 and 4. So like if they have 2 fights, like in between those movies, it's kind of ridiculous. But I mean, I want to see one, but another one.
They're gonna fight again. I can't believe they would.
It
Bring
depends
both
on
the
if
actors
we're,
back together.
but it depends on if we're getting more than one season, which it seems like we are.
I don't think that's. They need to. I think
do they, Doug?
I'm in firm camp of do not make a second season.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I mean, I would enjoy a second season, I guess, in theory, but
I'll watch it, but I won't be happy at it that it's being made.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way. Just
So
leave it at
like
this.
some of the artwork, it looks like they're fighting, and there's some
Are they on
fire. There's
Oh
fire.
yeah. Well, I saw Disney posted a clip, and it looks like he's back on Mustafar.
Okay, so then maybe they're gonna have a fight on Mustafar then.
That would be so cheesy. They did that already. Fucking stop. Don't do the same shit over again. And he's like, I hate you.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate
exact
you.
same dialogue.
I have a feeling that's probably what it's gonna be, right? A duel on Mustafar.
That would be silly.
I
But
guess. I don't know.
We're back. They'll play Duel of the Fates.
yeah. It'll be the same exact fight.
Maybe Uncle Owen is going to be the one who kills Reva, right? Is that going to happen? He's going to get revenge on how she bitched him out in the first episode.
Oh yeah, he could do that. Yeah.
I
Except
think
that
Derek's
would be
Derek's-
ridiculous if a Jedi gets or a Sith Lord gets killed by a fucking farmer.
Yeah,
A
you
milk
can't
farmer.
Uncle
By
Owen do
a
it.
rogue farmer.
I'd rather be Kamal.
Maybe they'll fight together.
Yeah, it's a three-way fight.
Dirk said the higher ground. Yep.
Yeah, they're just arguing about who has the higher ground the entire time.
So, one other thing, like, where's Palpatine? I mean, I know, like, they're not going to show him, I guess, but like,
Palpy's busy.
what's Palpy doing at this point in time? Is he like handling
he's cloning himself.
Is he handling like the upper management, executive orders type of thing? Is he too busy?
He's busy cloning himself so he can return in Rise of Skywalker.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yes. He's working on that.
See, it all makes sense.
Yeah, he's working on that.
Everything is of a piece.
Yep.
How did George Lucas describe it when making Phantom Menace? Like it's all like a dance, or I forget what it was that he said.
It sure
or
is a dance.
An opera or a book.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
We'll see.
The prequels have aged a lot better than the new trilogy. That's for sure.
So this poster, I mean, seems to make it pretty clear that they're rematching on Mustafar.
Yeah. Same fight. Even Padme's going to be there.
It seems like Disney's already said we're back. So
we're back.
We're back. Where
we're doing it again.
Wait, what?
That they're gonna just redo the fight again.
Did they release a new poster? Because they do one every week. Did they release like for the final episode?
Yeah, there's a poster. This looks like a legit poster. Yeah, and it's Vader and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's got his lightsaber activated, and
nice.
Vader's just kind of chilling.
I mean, I'm gonna eat it all up, whatever they do. I know I am. I can't even lie, but I can at least try to be objective, like before I see it.
Ultimately, I like making fun of it. I like enjoying it and making fun of it
because I know I'm not going to be objective while I'm watching it.
That's like the prequel experience. I enjoyed it and I made fun of it.
I want to know when we're gonna find out what Baby Yoda's been up to this whole time.
Yeah,
he's chilling.
Kate is waiting on bated breath for.
What is he, like 40 years old at this point in time?
Yeah, he's too young. He's too young to be in this shit.
How old is he at Mando?
Isn't he like 50 in Mando?
Then I guess he's in his 30s on this.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like
bebe.
It's like 15 years later, 20 years later.
He's a super bebe.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to have,
I wouldn't put it
Baby
past
Yoda just like walk by.
Baby Yoda kills Reva.
He walks by like a fucking alien in signs.
Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Baby Yoda!" Ah, because Baby Yoda is the face of Star Wars now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was like the flashbacks to Order 66, like waiting for him to pop up. It would have been so goofy though. He's just like,
oh, if he's in the temple,
waddling around.
He's just chilling in the corner.
He was there the entire time.
I mean, we know he was there for Order 66. We just don't know where he was.
It really would have been funny.
You just see him waddling out the door like these fuckers. I'm out. Oh my God. Well, all right. So we have a lot to look forward to for episode 6, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Star Wars is so easy to make fun of. It really is.
Well, we'll be on Baby Yoda watch for the season 6 episode. See if he pops up.
Do you think we're gonna get any further flashbacks of Lady Christensen?
Make me laugh. I don't think so. I think they realized that he doesn't look younger at all, and
Well, he definitely doesn't look younger. That's for sure.
it doesn't seem like they're gonna
I
flash
hope
him
we
back.
do. I want to see Natalie Portman too.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Oh man, I haven't laughed that hard since we played that Dexter game in Arizona last year.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah,
Holy shit.
I would expect the Natalie Portman flashback. I was
Yeah,
hoping
I
for
mean,
that
we know
last
we're-
episode.
We know we're getting Liam Neeson. I mean,
yeah, I would hope so.
yeah, if they didn't do the duel and didn't have Liam Neeson, I mean, that would be the biggest letdown for the part 6. I think they're calling it.
I get all the nostalgia this episode.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be limited to. I think we'll get the duel. Or something will happen to Reva. I'm assuming she's dying because it's kind of like Better Call Saul, where she's not in any of the future stuff, unless they're gonna. Doesn't seem like Reva is interesting enough to get her own spin-off.
Yeah, I don't think she's
TV
getting-
show.
She's
Not
getting
at all.
like Kim Wexler treatment.
Yeah. So I think she's probably gonna die. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see where they go with the last episode. I'm sure the plot will continue to not make any sense, and I'll complain about it when we talk again on the podcast.
Can't wait.
But yeah, it's fine. I'm not like a huge fan of I enjoy the Star Wars movies, but I'm not a huge fan, so I'm not even getting into the nitpicky stuff about like canon, because I don't know or care about any of that stuff. I'm just like trying to follow along with what I know, and I'm struggling. So, but yeah, it's doing that typical Disney Plus TV show nosedive that I've come to love or not really love. I've come to hate.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't really like it.
It's the
Yeah.
Disney Plus formula.
Yeah,
It really is.
So as long as they keep my Miss Marvel staying good, I'll be happy. Just don't touch Miss Marvel.
Yeah, don't fuck that up. Don't fuck up Kamala Khan.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up before we get into more fits of laughter. It is how we started and ended the episode. But that is all we have for today. Thank you again for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that. Live Breathe Film. The handles are somewhere. You can find them. I don't know. I don't know where they are. They're different on each platform.
Yeah, they are.
Whoops. But as always, this has been Corey, Doug, and Murph at Live Breathe Film. We'll see you again next time, film fans.
Bye.